Welcome everybody. Pursuit here with some RimWorld Alpha 8 and a demonstration of how to rescue your visitors. Kind of a workaround, not really a way the game actually allows you to, but a way you can rescue visitors. The purple tree people here and the Caxio of the Stream people here got into a little fight in my front yard. And as you'll see, Purple Tree People from Caxio of the Stream and Caxio of the Stream from Purple Tree People, they are enemies. So they had a little battle in my front yard. And I've been doing some testing here. As you'll see, this one now says -20. This one says -80. Once you capture somebody, rather than just letting them die out there, I went and I captured them. And when you capture somebody, you get an automatic -80. On the hostility. So they both became my enemy. This one, I've been doing some testing with, is down to -20. And I'll show you how I got it down to -20 and show you how you can make it so that when you have a visitor goes down, you can actually recruit a visitor that you incapacitate, or that gets incapacitated in your area. Way to kind of work around it right now instead of just letting them die out there. So I've captured both of these people, and I think I'll just demonstrate with the Purple Tree People how this works. So here we have the Pest Guard Redfields, and I'm going to set him to be released. Now, one release will not make them my friends. You need to release 3 prisoners before they will become your friends, and simply releasing them. Let's go ahead and get it moving here. See, somebody should come in here pretty. I'm trying to catch them before they actually come in. See, it's actually telling me here that I did. I don't know if I showed you that. That I did capture them and they became my enemy. So let's see what. Okay, that's what I was hoping would happen. Catherine here is going to release Redfields. So we're going to let her take care of this. Drop him off outside, and he will wander away. He'll probably be okay. His thoughts, I think, are fine. He's been all healed up. We put a peg leg on him because they knocked his leg off. Shot it off, I guess. You don't exactly just knock a leg off. So we're going to let him wander out of the base. And it doesn't count as releasing him until he actually leaves the map. So let's follow him out of the map. So he's going to walk over the border here. But before he gets to the border here, we're going to save. We got an autosave there, which isn't a bad. That would actually be an okay place to work from with autosave. But you have to make sure that you save between each of these. So we don't care what else is happening back there, because we're not actually gonna keep the save. What we're going to do, we'll be able to go back to that, but it's going to work a little differently, though. I'll explain. It's too much to explain all at once. So let's go ahead and save before he leaves the area. So we will just call this, as you can see, I have test, capture, test. Let's just put a release. Or this is something you might want to keep this save later to fix, and I'll explain that later in a bit here too. So let's say release, and he is from, who's he from? He is from the, I forgot already. He is from the Purple Tree People. You'd think I could remember that. So, save, release, and let's just call this Purple, or, yeah, sure, why not? Purple Tree People. Can I spell? I can't spell. People. Oh, not enough letters anyways. So the release Purple Tree People. And this is going to be something we're going to come back to. So let's go ahead and save it. Let's let him go now. So we will let him leave the map. Let's get rid of this so it's not confusing. We don't care if that's on there. Says they're my enemy. Who cares? So now that he's left the map, you will see it used to be -80, now it's -50. So the world itself saves separately from your colony does. Separately than your colony does. So now that we've saved, let's go back in. Well, now that we have let him go across, we need to save again. Say PTP out. We'll just flip out. This is only a temporary one. We don't care about the colony save here, we care about the world saving. So let's go ahead and say save. So now we've saved that. Now when we load up, let's load back up right before he left. So give it a second while it loads. Okay, we are back here now, right where we saved before he left. We look at the factions, it is still -50. So let's go ahead and let him leave again. As soon as he leaves, we go back in. We look at let's look at the factions first. -20. So it's continued to drop down, even though it's the exact same save for the colony. It's a different save for the world. So let's go ahead and save again. Let's just save over this one because we're just trying to get the world to save itself. Now let's load back up before the release. And we're back. So notice we're back exactly where before we saved again. We look at the factions. It's -20 now, still where we left it. Let's let him leave the map again. And what's it going to tell us? It's going to tell us that relations with the Purple Tree people have warmed. They are no longer hostile to you. Now, very important again, it has not saved yet, so you need to save again on this temporary file that we made. Overwrite it, and you might want to name this something different than I've named it, like before release and after release, or temp after release. I don't know, whatever makes you remember which file is before and which one's after. Saving the one that's before because you'll be able to use it in future runs. So now that we've saved it, let's go ahead and load up again. Now this is the part I have not tested. They are my friend now. Let's load up, and I'm pretty sure this is going to work though. Let's load up to before we released him. So we load it up. Okay, we're back at before we released him. It says on here, it's saying because you have captured they are now your enemy. Now that's not what, that's a different one. That was before that popped up before we saved. Because if we look at factions now, we're actually friends with the tree people. And Redfield's here is in our colony. Not in our colony, but in our prison. And so, without testing it out, because I don't know how long it will take to recruit him, you know, I'll just probably fast forward after I test it. Let's go ahead and say, try to recruit him. And see if it lets us recruit him. Friendly chat, try to recruit. Let's see what happens. So I'm just going to let this run, and I'll come back to you when I actually see what happens. And there we have it. Successfully recruited Redfields after several long minutes. So he is now part of our colony. Let's see if that actually affected the factions at all. Still a 10. So it did not hurt us any to recruit somebody after they had become our friends. So good to know. Now, we can let these guys, we can let him be part of our colony now, but I actually wanted to test something else. So let's go ahead and we will load up. I don't really care about this save right here. This was just to test something. Let's go ahead and load back up before he left the area. Now we are currently at a 10 on them liking us. So let's do back right before the release. Give it a minute. Okay, as you can see, the factions here, they have a 10 again. Now, my question is, when we release him, is this going to go up even more? Is this going to go up to 40? Let's see what happens. Okay, what does it say for us? Factions, 40, yes. You could actually give yourselves really good stuff just by releasing this prisoner over and over and over again. Heck, let's just do it one more time, just for kicks. Load up right before the release. Right there. Oh, you know what I forgot though? I didn't save. Gotta remember to save. So, because I did not save, it did not save the world thing there. So, if we do it again, we get the same thing we got last time with the... No, that's not what I wanted, back game. With the factions being 40, if you save now over our temp one here, yeah, that will put it up to the proper level. And if we load it up again just to show, right before we released him, it should stay at 40 now. Because we saved the colony, it will save the world. So, like I was saying, this is a good way to be able to rescue someone. Now if we let him go, he'll go back to his people. You can say, hey, I did a good job, he's all better. And you could load up when you had him in prison there and release him there, or you can make him part of your colony. This could also be a good way to be able to make friends with the people that are your enemies, just by capturing some of their people after a battle and saving right before you release them and just doing this over again if you want to make people friends. I'm sure there's other ways to do it in the game, but this is a way to do it without doing anything more than manipulating the saves and loads in your games. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you like this. Feel free to give me a comment and subscribe for future content. Now get on with your pursuit.